Click on test 486. Question is rotate non-negative elements. So you are given an integer array nums and an integer k. Rotate only the non-negative elements of the array to the left by k positions in a cyclic manner. Okay. And all the negative elements must stay in their original position and must not move. So all the non-negative numbers, either 0 or the positive numbers, should be rotated. Now after rotation, place the non-negative elements back into the array in the new order, filling out the position that originally contained non-negative values and is keeping all negative positions. So return the resulting array. So let's try to code this. Let's first take the copy of the nums. Let's not do any changes to the original array. Nums1 is equal to, just take the copy of it. Now we can simply calculate the length. So n is equal to len of nums1. Now let's take positive numbers and zero numbers in a separate array. So let's give that name as post for positive. So for I in range n, okay, if nums1 of I is greater than or equal to 0, we can simply add that post.append. We can simply add that in the our post array. So nums1 of I, and we can set that positions like nums1 of I is equal to float infinity, so that afterwards we can replace it easily. Yeah, so we have calculated the post elements. Now suppose post is given after n, the array will become the same, okay, after n rotations, and then 2n, 3n. So what we will do, we will simply calculate k modulus is equal to len of post, len of positive number. So what if len of positive number is 0? It will give us 0 division error. So for that we should check if len of post is equal to 0, then we can simply put k is equal to 0, else this can be executed. Yeah, so we have taken out the positive and the 0 numbers separately and changed the k value so that we can do the minimum calculation. After that we can simply do the rotation for k times. So for I in range k, first element will always be popped out. The first is equal to popped, from which post we have to rotate only positive or 0 number. So post at pop as 0 index, and then simply append it at the last. So post dot append first. So our this array is rotated for the k times. Now simply go in for I in range nums1, okay, and if you find, if for I in range, if positive numbers are there, if no positive number is there, we can't do any changes. So now if nums1 of I is equal to float infinity, let's do one thing. Let's go from back, so we can simply pop and store that value. Yeah, so what we will do, if nums of I is equal to float infinity, so simply nums1 of I is equal to, and that post 1 is rotated, so simply we can pop from the last post dot pop, and else there is no post, there is no need to do the changes. Simply break out of the loop, and finally we can return our nums1 array. Let's try to run this now. Yeah, so test cases have been passed. Let's try to submit this. Yeah, so our code passed successfully. Thank you.